Hey, what's up guys, welcome to FineGap YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to teach you Python in one video. So friends, first of all we will learn that where Python is used. In nowadays, if you are going to learn web development, data science or artificial intelligence, then I recommend you to must learn Python, because Python is very helpful to learn these technologies and this is necessary. So before watching this video, if you have any programming knowledge like C++ or C language or PHP, then this will be a plus point for you. But still, if you don't have learned any programming language from before, then obviously I will teach you from absolutely beginners. So tighten your seatbelt, because this video is going to be a kickstarter for you to learn data science, artificial intelligence and this type of advanced fields in IT. So without any delay, let's start. Okay, first of all, you have to open the address bar of your browser and type here collab.google. That's it, collab.google, and you have to press enter and you will see this website, and from here you have to click on new notebook. So new notebook will be opened to you. Let me close my previous notebooks. So you will see this screen in front of you. Maybe it will ask you to log in if you not have login already, but I'm already logged in, so I'm watching this screen. And now first of all, let me type here my Python project name, like FineGap hyphen or underscore Python. Okay, so I have named this, I have named to my project. So if you don't see this screen, you can click on this code button. So if I click on it, you can see that here I can write my Python code. So I'm going to delete this. Here I will write my Python code. So for example, we know that when programmers start learning programming, they print a hello world program. So what we are going to do here, I will type here print hello world. So you simply have to type print in lowercase and then this bracket, and inside these double quotes you will type here like semicolon, and no need to press semicolon in the end here. And if I click on this button, so now this Python program will be executed. So Google provide us this workspace so we can write our Python code here and run and execute. So maybe later, once you will understand or learn this programming language, then you can install Python on your Windows 11 as well or on a live server. But for learning purpose, I believe this is best for you, because no installation is required. You can reach here by only few clicks. So the next thing is variables in Python. So here what I'm going to do, if I hover here, you will see a button for code. If I click here, I can write my another code. Like, so what is a variable in Python? Variable can store values in it. For example, if I declare a variable like a is equal to 5, and here if I type here print, and now I will type directly variable name without those double quotations, and if I press this run button, so you can see that it is printing the value of a variable, not a but the value if a. As you can see that we stored 5 value inside our variable, so that's why 5 is printing. So for example, we can change the variable name while executing our program. So first of all, you can see that we assign 5 value to this a variable, and if I type here like a is equal to 10, and now if I run my program, so in the end you can see that 10 will be print. So it means that we can change the value of our variable. So these are very important parts of the programming. So for example, if you have a variable which contains more letters, for example first name, so what you will do, it is not recommended to write it like this, like first name. Obviously it will become confusing, so it is recommended to use an underscore first name. You can write your variable name like this, first name is equal to Fahim. So now you can see that because I am storing string value inside this variable, so I am typing here single quotes. You can type here single quotes or double quotes, it's depend on you. And obviously you can write this name like this in different cases, so it is up to you. So this variable name can become readable. So now I will again copy this variable name here and paste here. If you will make any syntax error, your program will not be executed successfully. So for example, if I type here only name, but our variable name is first name, and if I run this program, so you can see that error is generated, that name is not defined. Obviously it is defining us the error. Again, I will directly type here. So now you can see that the variable value is printing at this position. Next, we will see an example. We will get value from the user and store inside a variable. Okay, first of all, I will again type here code. So we can write here another code. Here I will type input and enter your name. And if I run this program, so you can see that it is asking that enter your name, and if I type here FineGap and if I press enter, so you can see that simply FineGap is printing and programming execution is completed. Now for example, we want to greet this new user. So what we can do, we can modify this program. We will declare here a variable like customer underscore name is equal to input enter your name, and then what we will do, we will print here hello plus customer underscore name. And if I click on this run program button, so you can see that it is asking my name. Here I will type like Fahim Hassan, and if I press enter, so now you can see that hello Fahim Hassan. So this line is printing my name. So that's how variables are useful, that they can store values inside them, and then we can use them for different purposes, like we are just printing value of that variable name currently. Next is data types in Python. Basically, data types are very important parts of programming. Let me explain you with an example. For example, if I declare a variable here like 5 and another variable like, for example, first variable name is equal to A and second variable is B is equal to 5. As you know that we have saved the same value inside our both variables, and which is 5. Now if you want to check their data types of these variables, you have to simply type here print type and then type here this small bracket, and here first of all I will type here A, and then I will copy and paste this line. To copy and paste this line, simply you can see my cursor is in the last of this line. I will simply press Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and here I will type my second variable. Okay, so now let me run this program. You can see that the first data type is integer and the second data type is string. So now let me show you the example with an operation. As you know that let me store first of all 5 in both variables, and here I will declare another variable like result is equal to A plus B, and now here I will print the value of result variable. Let me run this program. You can see that answer is 10, but now I'm going to change the data types of B variable. Now I will again execute the program, and you can see that Python is giving me an error that unspotted operands types. So basically the mathematical operations and other programming operations are performed on variables depending on their data types, because this is a string and this is an integer and we cannot add them. Next, again I'm going to declare a variable here like currency rate is equal to 20.3. So let me check the data type of this variable. So I will simply type here print and I will paste this variable here, and now let me execute my program. Okay, we have to type here type, and inside this type function we will print our variable. Again I will execute my program. So you can see that this data type is float. So if we have decimal numbers after integer, then the data type will be called float. There are different type of databases, but in this tutorial I'm only going to talk about the 4 data types: integer, string, float, and the last one is boolean. So let me show you basically what is boolean. Suppose if I type here user status is equal to true. For example, you have a account on any website, and now let me type here user active is equal to true or false. Now this value cannot be have any third value. Mostly maybe user will be an active user or an inactive user. Obviously there can be more than states of a user, for example active, inactive, paired, or but for example if we have any case where the possible values can only be 2 values, then we use boolean value there. For example maybe user can be active or inactive, so this data type is used to that purpose. Let me type here print type, and user active, and here I will press Control plus enter. So now you can see that its data type is Boolean. We will learn conditional operators, conditional statements in the coming of this video, and then you will realize that why this Boolean data type is very important. And obviously this is very important data type in any programming language. Next, I'm going to show you that what is how we can assign a data type to a variable. For example, if we are defining a variable here like a is equal to 5, as we know that this 5 is an integer, but if you will do like this, float basically a built-in function in Python, and now if I will print, as we know that this is an integer, but still if you will print the type variable a and press Control enter, you can see that you can assign any data type to a variable. So friends, that's how these are data types, and I just teach you about basics. Obviously you can learn in detail in Google and YouTube, but these are the concept of data types in Python. Our next part is basic operations in Python. So we can perform different operations, and different operators are used to perform operations on variables and values. So let me show you what does it means. For example, if I type here print and we have a value like 5 and we want to add them, so print 4 plus 5. If I print here, so you can see that answer is 9. Obviously this is a simple math work, but this is called operator, and we have performed addition operation on these two values. Similarly, if you want to minus a number, we can write here like 5 minus 4, and if I run the program, answer is 1. To multiply two numbers, we use star in Python. If I run this program, you can see that answer is 20. And if you want to divide, you have to type /. Let me type here 12, and if I run the program, so answer is 3.0. Here is another operator. For example, if I type here 5 divided by 4, and we have this modulus operator. If I run the program, so basically modulus return us the remainder after division. If you will use here like double power, and if I type here 2 and 3, so it means 2 raised to power 3. So if I run the program, so you can see that 2 2s are 4 and 4 2s are 8. And if you want to find 2 raised to power 5, then you can see that it is 32. So these are arithmetic operators. If you want to learn more in detail about Python operations and Python operators, you can learn from w3school.com. Similarly, what we can do, I can declare a variable here like x is equal to 5 and z is equal to 9. And similarly, if I declare here another variable like result is equal to x plus z. So x plus z means the value of x will be plus into the value of z. And if I print result, the value of result means 5 plus 9, which is 14, will be printed. Okay, so what if you write your equation like print 3 plus 2 multiply by 9? And here you should remember the DEMAS rules. First of all, multiplication operation will have high priority, and 9 will be multiplied by 2, which is 18, and then 3 will be added to that. So let me give you an answer, so you can see that 3. Still, if you want to give priority to addition operator first, what you can do, you can use this small bracket here like this. And now first of all, these two numbers will be added, means 5, and then 9 will be multiplied by 5. Let me show you the answer. So now you can see that the answer is 45. Next, I am going to teach you string concatenation in Python. For example, we have a variable named first name is equal to FineGap, and we have another variable like last name is equal to developer. If you want to add these both strings and store in a single variable, what you have to do, I will declare here another variable like name is equal to, first of all I will type here first name and then plus, and then these double quotes we can write here, or you can simply write here like last underscore name. And if I run the program, but before that I have to print this. If I run the program, you can see that FineGap developer is printing. If you want to give space between here, what you can do, you can type here double quotes and again plus, and here I will type a single space. If I again execute the program, you can see that in the output we have a space here. If you want to type something here like comma, what you can do, you can add that comma here, and now you can see that the output will look like this. So basically this is called string concatenation. There are different type of methods but I have teach you only one of them. Next I am going to talk about comparison operators. If I declare a variable here like result is equal to 5 greater than 2, so it means that this is a comparison operator. These two values will be compared with each another and the results will be stored in this variable as a boolean. So because 5 is greater than 2, then true will be saved, not 2 but true. Boolean true will be saved in this variable. Let me show you. If I print here result and execute my program, so you can see that we have true. If you want to check its type, you can see that its type is boolean. Similarly we have less than operator. So now we will check either 5 is less than 2. Obviously this is a false statement, so that's why false is printing here. We have like 5 is like, if I type here 2 is greater than 2, obviously 2 is not greater than 2, so that's why answer is false, but you can use this type of operator. So now it will check either 2 is greater than 2 or equal to 2, so the answer is true. Similarly we can have a less than and equal to operator. Now it will check that this 2 is greater than, okay, we have to type this operator like this. So similarly now it will be checked that either this value is greater than or equal to the value on the left side. Obviously 2 is equal to true. So that's how these comparison operators are used. If you want to only check equal to, you cannot write like this. This will generate an error because single equal to operator is used to assign a value to the left variable in programming. You have to type double equal to check either these two variables are true or not. Now let me execute the program. So you can see that the answer is true. In the last, I'm going to talk about logical operators. So what does it means? Let me type here again x is equal to, so like if I print here 3 is greater than 2 and 5 is greater than 2. Now if I print x, so the value will be true, and operator will be check either if this is returning as true and if this will return true, both conditions will be true, then true will be printed on our screen. Now suppose if I type here 5 is equal to 2, I will use double equal to. So now if I print here, you can see we have false value because this condition will be true but this condition will be false, and you know that AND operator will only become true if the value on the left and right side will be true. Obviously you can have more than conditions, like you can write here if 10 is greater than 2, and now if I again type here greater than or equal to 2, if I execute, now we can see that because 3 conditions are true, that's why true is printing here. Similarly we have an OR operation. So what does that mean? If I type here OR and if I type here equal to, if I execute the program, so you can see that the answer is true. In OR operator, if any of the condition become true, the answer will be true, and if all condition will become false, then the answer will be false. Next we are going to learn Python conditions and if statements. The if statement in any programming language is used to check a condition, and if condition becomes true, then a specific lines of code will be executed. Let me show you with an example. I will declare a variable here like temperature, and for example we are getting input from user, enter temperature of your room. Now if we use if keyword in Python and temperature is greater than 30, then you have to type here colon and make sure to use proper indentation. Let me show you what is indentation, but before this I'm going to print it's hot here, and here again I will print drink more water, and now here I will type here print program executed. So if you see, these two print statements are contain a little bit space from left side, but this is not. First let me run the program, then I will show you the difference between this one and these two one. Before executing now, for example, let me remove this print statement. For example, if temperature is more than 50 here, and then we have to recommend user to leave this place because this is not fair for him. So what we will do, we will use else if statement. In Python you type else if like this, elif, and temperature. Actually I have mistyped the temperature spelling, so I will again type here temperature, and from here I will copy them and paste in all the positions, and here I will type else if the keyword is elif, temperature is greater than 50. Then what you have to do, recommend the user that leave this place, it's getting too hot. And first of all let me run the program. Now I will type here like 55, and if I press enter, you can see that it's hot. Okay, it's hot here, and drink more water. The reason why this is printing, because in Python if else statement, if the first condition will become true, the remaining conditions will not be checked and only this code will be executed. So for example, we can type here one more condition, like if temperature is greater than 30 and temperature is less than 50. So by using this program will only be executed if temperature will be greater than 30 but if less than 50. Now if I execute the program and type here 53 and press enter, you can see that leave this place, it's getting too hot, because this time if we'll check two conditions. If temperature is greater than 30 and operator means that this condition should become true and this condition should also become true to execute these two statements, because currently our temperature was 53, that's why this if is executed, because 53 is greater than 50. So this was the if else statement. And for example, if temperature is less than 30, currently we don't have any statement to execute. What we can do, we can type in the last else print its livable place. So basically if these two conditions will become false, then this else part will be executed. Now again let me run the program, and if I type here 15 and if I press enter, you can see that it's livable place. Basically your else statement executed if all of the other if statements conditions become false, then by default this else will be executed. Next we are going to talk about Python loops. Before giving you the concept of loops, I want to give you an example. For example, if we declare here a variable I and its value is 6, I will type here while, which is a keyword, I is less than 6 colon, and here I will print I, and sorry, initially we will store 1 inside I, and after this print I will increment the I variable by 1. First of all let me execute the program. You can see that 1 2 3 4 5 is printing on our screen. How it's happened? This task is done by loops. Now let me show you. The definition of loop is, in programming or in Python, loop checks a condition. If it becomes true, then it executes a statement or set of statements. After their execution, the condition will be checked by while loop, and again if the condition will be true, the statements or the set of statements will be executed. This while loop will be executed if until the condition will become true. So how this program is executed? First of all, the value of I was 1. Our while loop checked either I is less than 6, which was true, so condition become true. The value of I was printed on our screen and then what we do, we increment the value of I by 1, which means now the value of I is 2. Again the condition will be checked, either 2 is less than 6, obviously condition will become true, 2 will be printed. i's value will be incremented, and third time I value will be 3, and in the last once I value will become 6. So 6 is not less than 6. It means condition will become false, and this code will not be executed. So that's why you are seeing the numbers are printing on our screen are from 1 to 5. This is the concept of loops in Python. We also have another loop which is called for loop. For example, we have a list of fruits like apple, banana and cherry, and you want to print all these fruits on our screen. We can use for loop. For example, if I type here for x is equal to x in, here you have to type fruits and colon. Let me copy and paste the spellings here. So basically for is our keyword that says that this is a for loop. X is a variable, you can type any variable name here. Each time loop will be executed, this value will be stored in our x. Currently it have 3 elements in our array. It means loop will be executed 3 times. Okay, there is an error. By mistakenly I run the program. And in obviously again a keyword, and after this we have typed here our list name. Now here simply what I will do, I will print x. Let me execute the program. You can see that apple, banana, cherry. So the first time apple was stored in our variable x and we print x. So apple is printed on our screen. Second time banana, which is the second element of our this list, was stored in it, and this is printed banana. And third time cherry was printed on our screen. So this is called for loops in Python. Now for example, if you know other programming language like PHP, and there we declare a variable and a condition in for loop. For example, if you want to execute the for loop to a specific number of time, then we can use range here. For example, I will type here for x in range 6, and again I will print x. Let me execute the code. Okay, we have to type here colon, and now you can see that because we defined 6 value here, so our program executed 6 times, but it started from 0 to 5. For example, if you want your for loop to be executed from 10 to 15, you can pass here 2 values, 10 to 15. Now again let me execute it. Here you can see that it started from 6. Okay, we can type here 10. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's how you can pass 2 values if you want to execute your for loop within 2 range. Now if you notice, you can see that the one increment is implemented after each iteration of our loop. If you want to increment your number by 2, what you can do, for example, we have first number is 1 and the second number is 10, but we want increment of 2. So you can pass 2 as a third parameter in the range function. And now if I execute the program, you can see that 1, then 3, 5, 7 and 9. So that's how the increment of 2 is executed. Next, I'm going to teach you break and continue statement in Python. For example, you have a for loop which is running in the range of 6. I will type here print x, but here I will type another if, like if x is equal to 2 break. Let me execute. You can see that the question is, we provided range to the number of 6, but why after 2 value the loop was not executed? Break statement is used to terminate the loop's iteration. In the condition we say that loop should be run 6 times, but inside our for loop we check that if x value become 2, if you ever found that the value of x is equal to 2, then break. It means terminate the for loop, don't proceed further. And if I type here continue and execute the program, you can see that before this we have to type print, and now again let me execute the program. So you can see that 2 is missing in our output. Why? The continue statement is used to skip the one iteration in loop. So when our program was running, the x value once become 2, it didn't print, it continue means again check the condition and again execute the body of our for loop, depends on the condition. So this is what is the use of continue and break. Break used to terminate the loop process, and continue is used to skip the one iteration of loop. Next we are going to learn about lists in Python. Last but not the least, we are going to talk about another data type in Python which is called list. To define a list in Python, first of all you have to assign a name. Like I have typed here fruits is equal to mango, because the name of the fruit is in string, that's why I am writing in double quotes. Banana, apple and watermelon. So a list can save more than one values inside them. If I print fruits and execute my program, you can see that the whole of the list is printed. These lists are very important in building real world applications. Now, for example, if you want to access the first element of the list, what you will do? You will simply type here this bracket and the index of your element. The first index of the element starts from 0, 1, 2 and so on. So now if I execute the program, you can see that we have accessed the first element of the list. If you want to access the second one, you will type here 1 and let me execute. So we have accessed the second element of the list. If you want to access the last element of the list, that will start from -1, watermelon, and if I type here -2, so that is apple. If you want to modify the list, what you will do, type here fruits 0 is equal to changed fruit, and now if I again print the list, so you can see that change fruit. Mango is currently not in our list. Next, Python provide us some methods that we can implement on our list. For example, let's suppose we have a list named numbers that contains some elements. Suppose if I want to insert another element inside this, I will type here numbers dot append and let me type here 6, and now if I execute my program after printing the list, you can see that the 6 is inserted inside our list. Now by default you can see that the append method insert this number in the last of our list. For example, if you want to insert in the beginning, we will use another method which is called insert. It will take two parameters, the index where you want to insert the element, and next is the element 200. Now if I execute the program, you can see that the 1 is removed. Okay, not removed, but the 200 is inserted in the index 0, and these are the remaining items of the list. Similarly, if you want to remove an element from a list, you will use the remove method, and here if I type here like 3 and execute, you can see that the 3 is removed from our list. If you want to remove all the elements, you can use clear function. It did not accept any parameter, it will empty your list. Now for example, if you want to check either a specific element exists in our list or not, what you will do, I will simply print 1 in numbers. The answer will be false. The reason you will see that 1 exists in our list, but why the answer is false, because we have cleared the list here. So first of all I will comment this. Now if I execute the program, you can see that true. If I type here 100, because 100 is not exist in our list, that's why you can see that it is returning me false. If you want to check the length of your list, you will use another method which is called length method, but you have to type here len, and inside this pass the name of your list. And now if I execute my program, you can see that there are 5 elements inside my list, 1 2 3 4 5. So there are other methods also available for the list, but while building real world applications, you can search on the Google and use them according to your requirement. In the last, we are going to talk about tuples in Python. Basically, tuples are mostly similar to list. For example, if I type here tuple is equal to, you will define the tuple like this 1, and if I type here hello and 2 and 3 and like 4 5. So it means that you can also insert strings or integer or floating point values in the tuple. Obviously the same thing you can do with the list as well, but and similarly you can access the list elements. Like if I type here print tuple 1 and if I execute the program, you can see that the hello is printed, because as I told you, the index of a tuple or list starts from 0, and at index 1 we have an element which contain the value hello. But there is a difference between the list and tuple, which is a major difference. And if you will type here tuple and like 0, and if you try to assign the value to 0 element like world or something like that, and now if I execute the program, you will see an error. You can see that tuple object does not support item assignment. It means that once you will define a tuple, you cannot insert or modify elements inside this. So this is very major difference between them. You should only use tuple where you are confirmed that later the elements will not be changed. You can only use the tuples elements to access their values. So this is same as constants. So obviously the tuples do not provide you all the methods that we discussed for list, like append, insert, remove or clear, but you can use some methods like count. If I type here print count tuple and if I execute the program, okay, basically count method is used to check either a specific number how many time occur in a tuple. For example, if I type here 4 and execute the program, you can see that 2, because 4 is appearing 2 times in our list. So that is what called tuple. Obviously the tuples performance a little bit faster than list. So if you ever realize that your list, or I means your array will not going to be changed on runtime, then you can use the tuple. So friends, this was the basic of Python, and once you will start building projects, then Google and ChatGPT, these tools will help you a lot to learn and to get experienced in these programming languages. So always try to work on projects, read code from GitHub and other developers code, write programs, write complex programs, and read programming books, I means advanced programming books. So these stuff will make you the experienced programmer. So friends, I hope this video will be helpful for you to learn and to get started with the Python. If you have any question, you can ask us in the comment section. We will try to answer your question. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel for our regular videos. And finally, thanks for watching.